Hello and welcome to my channel, The Danish Readaholic. Today I'm doing the opposite book challenge. So I have this gigantic stack of books next to me and I didn't think it through when I made the stack because all of the ones that I need for the first question are at the bottom of the pile. I don't know what I was thinking. So for the first prompt we have the first book in my collection and the newest edition. Now I don't remember which is the first one in my collection, but I think that it might have been The Breadwinner, but the Danish version. And the newest book I have is 1984 by George Orwell. I think that is it. I don't know how much I have to say about this. I've had this for ages. I just got this. I got this actually together with this version of Spin the Dawn, but since I've had that before and then just decided to get these ones and give the other one to a friend, I thought this was a better pick for newest edition. So the next one is a cheap book versus an expensive book. I couldn't really think of a book that was cheaper than the rest. Maybe 1984 because the classic version that I've gotten is rather cheap, which is great, but I actually decided to go for Battle Royale, mostly because I bought this with a gift card, so for me this was very cheap. And for the expensive one, oh my god, that was shiny. I'm going for the Barnes & Noble leather-bound edition of Anna Karenina by Leo Tolstoy. Then we have a male protagonist versus a female protagonist, and for the male protagonist I decided to go with The Curious Incident of the Dog in the Nighttime. And for the female protagonist, I could have basically chosen almost all of my fantasies, but I went with Fire by Kristen Cashore, which has one of my favorite female protagonists. My girl Fire, I love her so much. I feel like I'm gonna get through this tag so fast, but also there isn't really much to say about the books because a lot of the books that I'm showing you already know about because I talk about them all the time. So I think I'll just make this a very quick video because that is nice sometimes to have a quick video. Anyways, a book you read fast versus a book that took you long to read. I got that. A book that I read fast versus a book that took me too long to read. I don't have anything to say, but I really enjoyed both of them, so. The next one is a pretty cover versus an ugly cover, and don't we all know what cover I'm gonna pick for the ugly one? But let's go with the pretty one first, and I'm gonna go for The Never Tilting World. I do have a lot of books that I could have picked for this, but I feel like this one is one of my favorites and have been ever since I got it, so I had to go with this. And for the ugly cover, oh, it's even worse when it's shiny. There we go. Oilejerne. It's just not a vibe. I can't. The next one was a national and then an international book, and I understood it as in the national book had to take place and maybe also be written by someone Danish, and the other is basically anything but that. So I went with Krigerprinsessen del 1-3 by Josephine Ottesen, which is a middle grade. So I went with that for the national, and then I went with Throne of Glass for the international, and that is basically just because I see it everywhere, especially on TikTok. I'm looking at you. So I decided to go for that, but I feel like I could have chosen almost everything, so yes. The next prompt is a thin book versus a thick book. We have the thin book and we have the thick book. I don't have anything to say. And yes, this is the second time that Anna Karenina makes an appearance in this video, and yeah, I still need to read it, still need to get to it. Next up, I had to find a fiction book and a non-fiction book. So I went with Bone Cries Moon for the fiction and Jeg som anklager by Jeppe Buch Jepsen, and this is by Catherine Purdy. The next one was a very or way too romantic book and then an action book, and for the romantic one I went with This Is What Happy Looks Like by Jennifer E. Smith. Honestly, I could have gone with almost all of my contemporaries because for me they're a little bit too romantic, all of them, especially this one though. But I could have also gone with Kissing Booth, To All the Boys I've Loved Before. You know the drill. For the action book though, I went with An Ember in the Ashes because oh my god, so much happened all the time and I honestly didn't know where the book was going, and I loved every minute of it. So yeah, I had to go with it. I had to. And lastly, a book that made you happy and a book that made you sad. For the book that made me happy, A Tale of Magic. This was so good and made me so happy, and oh my god, I'm so excited to read the second one. And for a book that made me sad, I actually had to switch this out because I had originally picked it for male protagonist, but then I saw the prompt for a book that made me sad and I was like, I have to pick this one because it made me cry for like hours. A Monster Calls by Patrick Ness. Saddest book ever. So sad. That was the opposite book tag. Did I say that right? Thank you so much for watching. Please leave a comment if you have any kind of book tag that you would like to see me do. It can be anything that you just really love, maybe like a TV show based or something else based. It doesn't have to be anything that I know anything about. I will just follow the prompts. If you like this video, please hit the like icon, and if you want to see more of my bookish content, please hit subscribe. It would mean the world to me. And until I see you next time, bye!